Hey guys, welcome back. Better Than a Let's Play Season 2, Episode 3. I'm Enigmus, and today we're carrying on both inside and outside of our central facilities. We're doing our best to get the structural components done. I mentioned in a previous episode that we're going to spend a little extra time fine-tuning the exterior details, because once it's done, this will be the template that influences the rest of the structures throughout the entire complex that we're going to be building. So you can see I'm messing around with some microblocks, testing things inside my little fake dirt wall, just getting a feel for how things might go together. And in this case, working with the ability to add microblocks in multiple quantities into the same block space. Previously, when we were using red power for our microblocks, we could only have one microblock in a particular block space, but now we can have several. We can stack them, we can put them side by side, we can do all kinds of crazy things that would allow us to come up with profiles that we would otherwise not be able to have access to, and it gives us a little bit more wiggle room when it comes to trying to smooth out edges like we're doing here. Just being able to kind of round things out and get rid of that super blocky, and I'm already pretty happy with the way things are going, at least with the walls. Two structures. The roofs are going to take some work, and I'm fine with that, because as long as the walls are done, the roofs are something that I can mess around with when I happen to notice that it's daytime and I haven't got anything else to do, kind of thing. And then if we find ourselves needing that profile done so that we can build another structure, then by all means we can head off and do that. I don't know why I'm just going with straight round this time around. Just round. Just because I think we're going to be doing a lot more of the tech side. So if we get too carried away with the profiles and the structures, then that's all we're ever going to have time to do is finish those. But in this case, we did sort of a rounded profile for this tower. And then I was looking at it and trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to now apply microblocks to make this thing look round like we did with the lower structure that it's connected to, and realized that we couldn't do that with the profile that I used. So we had to go and dig out a few columns. It's actually not that bad. The nice thing about structures this size is it doesn't use a lot of blocks, and if you do make a mistake or decide you want to change something, it's not like you have to, this entire field worth of things that you have to go around and break and tweak and remove and replace and all that other stuff. So this one was actually smaller than the main lower section, so it was definitely a lot more blocky. Like I say, anytime we're dealing with round things, the smaller they get within the Minecraft universe, the harder it is to make them actually look round. Eventually you reach a point where there's no round to be had. It's just all blocks, and the only way you would think of it as something round is if someone said that's supposed to be round, but that's too small to actually make it happen. So we're not quite there with this profile, but I wouldn't want to push it too much farther, or we'd end up with two block faces all the way around with missing corners, and that would be our circles. It just doesn't cut it. A lot of dirt nerd polling, I'm finding. And, I've got most of the materials that I need to start putting together my modular power suits armor. And I don't really feel the drive to do it. I'm actually more interested in getting the armor, the legs done, and the feet, so that I can fall and not have to worry about taking damage. That's the only reason, is so that I can move up and down these heights like this and not have to worry about have I done that too many times? Because I can remember doing that in Tekkit, taking tiny little half hearts of fall damage over and over and over again, and not having a full hunger bar, and then all of a sudden you fall 4 blocks and you die. What the hell just happened? I'm trying to avoid that here, but yeah, really, as far as modular power suits, I eventually will once again make the entire suit, but for now, the boots and the legs. Really, the rest are just, it takes so much to charge the damn thing is really what the problem is. But enough of that nonsense. Been outside, it's getting there. It's a work in progress. It's going to take a while before we're completely done outside for this specific structure. So having done what we've done, let's go take a look at what we've been doing inside. And here we are inside. This is not a very big inside, but we've been very busy. Oh, look at that bastard up there. He's not supposed to be able to get in here. It just, I don't even know. Oh. No, I can't do that. Aw, dick. I was gonna try and knock him in and see what happens. Yeah, I'm actually still using a stone sword. I don't like using iron for tools. I don't know why. Because I generally know that eventually they're gonna wear out. And I wish I had spent the iron on other things. So we're going to give you the basic tour of what we've got here, because I can't bring myself to make you guys watch me build furnaces and chests and things of that nature, because if you've played the game at all, you know how it's made, and if you haven't played it, you probably don't care. It's a chest, you put stuff in it. Lots of extra stuff. Different kinds of dirt, and I was mousing over some of them and the client crashed on me, so we're not going to do that, but we can see all kinds of different kinds of blocks of things, different colors that we can think about using for other build projects. And it doesn't look like we've got a lot by way of, metallic resources, ores and things like that, but that's because I've been smelting them into blocks with the smeltery, so we still don't have a lot of anything, but we've got enough to kind of get going with pretty much anything that we want at this stage of the game. And then of course this is the smeltery itself. This is the center of our operation. It's got lots of lava in it, and it's got lots of room to expand. Right now we can hold 54 blocks of ore, or whatever we happen to be putting in there, before it'll be too full to hold anymore. And I have actually sometimes monsters coming up from the mining things, so that's why I heard that noisy bastard outside. Stop it. We've got the 3 casting bins, basins, whatever you want to call them. So we can basically extract 27 ingots worth of material in a few seconds, and it only takes like 30 seconds or something to melt down the ore, so it's very, very fast operation. We've got all of our blocks set up so that we can start making our Tinker's Construct tools. Very important. And I just... where did I put it? I just brought back... Yeah, I found a dungeon sort of thing, and I've already lost the mossy stone that I brought back, but I got all kinds of great things, and the most interesting thing for me was the mossy stone that everything was sitting on, because that's useful. Oh, here it is, right here. The moss stone, because we can use that to make the moss balls that make our tools auto repair. Hopefully. That's the plan. We've got, what else here? This is basically going to be my thermal expansion area, because we've got this behemoth, we don't have to worry so much about automating this over here. So there's going to be enough room here for the pulverizer, an induction furnace, a magma crucible, and a liquid transposer. And I think in terms of machines to make thermal expansion stuff, that ought to have us mostly covered. These are the thermal expansion tanks, just the very basic version of them. So we've got some lava that I brought up from downstairs, just sitting there with no immediate purpose, and a little bit of water as well, because water source is outside currently until we get some aqueous accumulators up and running. So that's what I've been working on, basically, is getting ourselves up and running with the most basic of materials. And I have here now, I only made this now so that I can make things like Invar and what's the other? Electrum ingots. So it's amazing when you take out that need to smelt ore from the equation, just how the entire dynamic changes. Now I wanted to point out, this is what I was, we'll do a little demonstration here, stuff that I was talking about before with the micro blocks, because this might be useful to some of you guys. We need that, and probably that. And I would rather use dirt for the backstop. This way. So just like I had it in the time lapse, we'll just kind of set up a fake wall here with a corner. And now we would have our stone pillar. When we put it in, it's basically a quarter of a block that sits there like that. And if I'm trying to smooth out a corner that's just a couple of blocks like this, it does a pretty good job. It's still, you can tell it's still blocky, but it's better than the whole block. It makes a slightly more refined kind of 45-degree line this way. But when you've got longer kind of walls and you're trying to smooth it out over a distance, sometimes the available options with just the raw shapes for the microblocks don't work so well. So one of the things that I've been messing around with is you can take like these strips and you can sort of add them to this column so that instead of just being a quarter block, now it's more than a quarter block, but not a block that you could cut on your own. It's something a little bit larger. It's larger on both sides. And the only way to get it is by adding a strip to an existing block that's in place. So that's kind of cool. That's one of the key features of this whole thing, is being able to augment the sizes like that. And then also being able to come along here and put in that block behind it, which could, depending on the situation, be exactly what you need to kind of do a rounded corner or a rounded profile or smooth and awkward sort of line. It's just something that I've been messing around with, but the key here is knowing that you have that option, and I'm not sure if I've ever really looked at that before. Axes aren't for, and I don't have a shovel. I'm really, really sloppy with my tools right now. Like I said, I'm still using a stone pick when I go mining. I have my iron pick for things that I need an iron pick for, and everything else is stone. I'm such a cheap bastard. So basically what I'm going to be working on between now and the next episode is try and add some more on top of the smeltery. I would ideally like to have it peeking up so that you can see it through the upper windows over there. I think that would be kind of cool. And finishing out these machines here, which I think I have most of the materials. The Electrum and the Invar were holding me back for some of them. Get the engines in place, get those guys up and running, start looking at getting some Tinker's Construct tools, and then we're going to do a molded in place nether portal, because again, I don't want to waste 3 diamonds on a diamond pick just so I can farm up the obsidian to get to the nether, and we need some nether brick in order to make the magma crucible that we will need for making things like energized glowstone, stuff like that. So I really enjoy this part of the game because there's always something to do, and you can never get tied down to any one single project for all that long, because none of them take that long. It's not until later on when we get into the larger projects, basically all the infrastructure in place. So let's go and do something that's going to break the game. That's later. That's later on. For now, all kinds of fun to be had. So that's it. Like I say, if you want to watch me gathering materials and building machines, leave a comment below. If it turns out that's a popular thing that people want to see, I don't mind doing it, but I operate under the assumption that it's just boring as hell. And so unless people convince me otherwise, I'm going to continue on that assumption and not include it. So any other comments and feedback you have, you can also leave that below if you want to be notified when I add the next episode. You can subscribe to my channel. That's one way. The other way, you can follow me on Twitter at Enigmius1 or Google plus Enigmius1. As always, thanks for watching, guys, and take care.